You're listening to the Doctor Is In podcast. This is the show where you get the best tips, tricks, and nutritional hacks to help you and your family get healthier. You'll also hear what works and what doesn't work so you don't have to waste your time and money. All right, let's get started.
Hello, I'm Dr. Martin Jr.
And I'm Dr. Martin Sr.
And this is the Doctor Is In podcast. And this is episode 122. And this is part 3 of our anti-aging series. Now, if you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes, the last 2 podcasts, then I'd strongly encourage you to go back and listen to those, because we give a tremendous amount of information on what happens as you age, the key things that occur both inside your body in terms of wasting and also what happens to your hormones and all that kind of stuff. So those were good episodes. I would encourage you to go back and listen to that. On today's podcast, we're going to share with you our anti-aging protocol. This is probably the first time that we've shared it like this from start to finish, where we've gone through everything. Now, we have a brain course coming out, how to protect your brain as you age. And then we also have a leaky gut one that we're working on. And then we also have this anti-aging course that we're doing as well. So this is a lot of the stuff that we have in the course that we're going to go into more detail later. However, this is a good episode for those that want true anti-aging. And as we mentioned on the previous podcast, we look at anti-aging as more than just the health of your skin or your looks. We define anti-aging as helping you live the back end of your life healthy, mobile, sharp brain. Those kind of things are more important. And as a result of doing those things and the things that we're going to talk about today, your skin will be better, your hair will be better, your joints will be better. So this is really our anti-aging protocol.
Absolutely.
So we'll kind of go through a process here of talking about how we're going to go through this, because we gave out so much information over the last 2 episodes that we want to kind of give our protocol in a certain order. Now, if you remember 2 episodes ago, we talked about the anorexia of aging. And what we mean by that is as you age, certain body parts shrink. And specifically, we're talking about your brain and we're talking about your muscle mass. And you need both of those in order to live a healthy, long, mobile, sharp life. A big part of anti-aging has to take care of those aspects. You can't have a protocol in place without dealing with the fact that your brain is going to shrink and you're going to lose muscle mass. In fact, you're going to lose about 8% of muscle mass every decade after the age of 40. So that's an important aspect. So that's one aspect of an anti-aging protocol that we're going to talk about. And then on last week's episode, we talked about the accelerant of aging. So, the whole concept of if you want to get a fire to burn quicker and farther and brighter and all those things, you use an accelerant. And there are 2 accelerants that will age you faster. One being inflammation and the other being free radical damage. So any anti-aging protocol has to deal with those 2 accelerants as well. So that's what we're going to share with you today, is what we recommend to fight wasting of your brain, wasting of your muscles, to protect against inflammation, to protect against free radical damage. As a result of that, you'll age slower. Your biological age will be lower than your actual chronological age. Your brain will be sharp. Your skin will look good. Your complexion will be good. And that's what we're going to share with you today.
Yep.
All right. So after that long introduction, let's get going. Well, let's deal with first the wasting aspect of aging, the anorexia of aging. So let's talk about what we recommend for that. So when it comes to the brain, really any anti-aging program has to take into account the brain.
And you don't want to outlive your brain.
No. So when it comes to eating, obviously, we can spend a lot of time eating, but our serial killer's method, which is a low-carb, low-processed food, is the way to eat.
Eat fat, get lean.
And we're not going to talk about eating as much in this one. We're going to talk about nutrients that we recommend people take as they age.
Yeah, but get your insulin down. We talk about it all the time. High circulating insulin. If you got Alzheimer's, you got dementia. We talk about it. It's diabetes of the brain. If you might not think you're diabetic, but if your memory is going, you got diabetes of the brain. So just look at it that way. I don't know how to make it any simpler, but food, yep. Okay, we'll talk about nutrients, but food, you can do all the things in the universe, but if you're a bad eater, you can't make up for bad eating, you know?
All right, so when it comes to the brain, there are basically 3 nutrients that we recommend. And again, your brain's going to shrink faster. Mm-hmm. Your brain is very susceptible to inflammation, and your brain is very susceptible to free radical damage. So we recommend 3 nutrients, 3 things that we recommend supplement-wise to help protect your brain as you age. And the nice thing is that these things actually will do a lot of other things for aging, and we'll talk about that as well. So the first thing that we recommend when it comes to brain, and everybody should be taking for anti-aging purposes, as well as a whole load of other reasons, is DHA.
Yeah.
DHA, which is a type of omega-3 fatty acid, is the preferred source of fuel for your brain. So your brain needs a lot of DHA to function normally. And the problem is, based on the way we eat, we get very little omega-3 fatty acid in our diet. We get very little. Yeah. And we get even less DHA nowadays. Yeah. So DHA is a chronic deficiency that we see. And blood levels of omega-3 are such a key indicator for health, and so many people are low in that area. But if you want to really protect your brain as you age, you should be taking a DHA supplement every day. Every day.
I do.
Yeah, and we're going to go through your protocol that you do every day, because it's kind of an interesting. We'll talk about that, and maybe we can end this by talking about what you take every day, and I'll talk about what I take every day as well, because a lot of people ask us that. So first and foremost, when it comes to your brain, you need DHA. You need to be getting enough omega-3 fatty acid every day, specifically DHA and EPA as well. But we recommend a lot of DHA. Yeah. And in fact, we recommend anywhere usually above 2.5 grams of DHA and EPA every day is kind of what we recommend for a healthy individual. If they're unhealthy, they got other issues that can change quite a bit. But it starts with DHA. The second thing that we recommend, and people are always amazed when we say this when it comes to brain health, one of the most important things you could do for your brain is take a probiotic. You need probiotics to protect your brain as you age. That's just a fact. Your brain is massively influenced by the health of your gut and the health of your microbiome, which is your bacteria content. Yeah. If you have an unhealthy microbiome, if you have an unhealthy gut, you will have an unhealthy brain, which is why we use the term leaky gut, leaky brain all the time. And because we live in a time where everything kills your microbiome or changes your microbiome, probiotics just need to be one of those things that you take every day. There is not a person, I can't think of a person who shouldn't be taking probiotics.
No, we recommend it to everyone at all ages, but if for an anti-aging purposes, absolutely.
So DHA and probiotics are a must when it comes to brain health. It's a must when it comes to protecting your brain from shrinking. It's a must to protect your brain in terms of dementia and Alzheimer's. But there's a third one that we always recommend when it comes to brain health, and it comes at it from a completely different perspective, but one that's equally important, is our Navitol, which is our pine bark extract. And pine bark extract is very unique when it comes to brain health because, one, not only is it a very strong antioxidant, so it kind of protects your brain against all those free radicals that are out there that's causing inflammation, that's causing damage to your brain cells. It also has the ability to cross your blood-brain barrier, which a lot of things don't. So a lot of things that people take for brain health are not that effective at crossing your blood-brain barrier. So it's not really doing what it's supposed to be doing. Where pine bark actually crosses the blood-brain barrier, it increases the blood flow to the brain. It helps fight off free radical damage in the brain. So we like pine bark.
It literally rust-proof for your brain, right?
Yeah, we love pine bark extract, and we have a certain type that we like that we use in our Navitol, but we're huge. I mean, the story of our pine bark and how it helped, my mother, your wife, is a fascinating one, and we should do an episode on that because a lot of people ask us about that. But we're big fans of pine bark extract. specifically when it comes to protecting your brain. It's tremendous for that, right? So when it comes to your brain shrinkage, that's what we recommend. So now let's talk about muscles, right? Because muscle wasting or muscle anorexia or muscle, right? That's a big aspect of aging. The nice thing is we talked about DHA. Now, there was a study done not that long ago that looked at the effect that DHA has on fighting and reversing sarcopenia, to the point that the researchers in the study said that it should be used all as a method of fighting sarcopenia. For whatever reason, DHA is very good for your muscle health as well. So the nice thing is you're taking DHA, it's going to protect your brain, it's going to protect your muscles. Now, at the end, we'll talk about the best ways to protect your muscles as well when it comes to our recommendation in terms of weight training and high-intensity interval training, which we'll get to in a second. So when it comes to the anorexia of aging, we recommend probiotics, we recommend DHA, and we recommend our Navital, right? Now, last week, we talked about the two accelerants of aging, which is free radical damage and inflammation. And of course, inflammation doesn't just spontaneously occur. Things cause that, right? High insulin causes inflammation. Leaky gut syndrome causes inflammation. Let's first talk about leaky gut, because as we mentioned last week, one of the things that happens as you age is your microbiome changes drastically. The healthier your microbiome, the better you're going to age. And of course, probiotics.
There you go again.
So you're getting a double benefit from probiotics. Probiotics not only help your brain as you age, they also help keep your gut from aging faster than it should. It keeps your gut from becoming more permeable. It keeps your gut healthy, which is a big part of keeping inflammation down.
Yeah.
Also, probiotics, a lot of people are not aware of this. Probiotics also help your glutathione levels in your body. Now, glutathione is like a master antioxidant, which helps you fight free radical damage, and free radical damage is an accelerant of aging. So probiotics are actually, in itself, a tremendous anti-aging supplement. People never think of probiotics as anti-aging, right? They think of everything else but anti-aging. But probiotics are an amazing anti-aging tool that we recommend, not just for anti-aging purposes. Obviously, we recommend it for so many things. But it is a key anti-aging supplement. Think of your probiotics as an anti-aging supplement, because it does so many things that keep you younger, that it just should be included as any protocol for that. Now, when it comes to inflammation, pine bark extract, again.
Very good. Very anti-inflammatory. Elevates your nitric oxide, right?
And why don't you just kind of, in case somebody doesn't know what that means, explain to them why raising or boosting your nitric oxide levels is very important for good health.
Well, think of, I always tell people, like, think of nitrogen, right? So what is nitroglycerin, right? Nitroglycerin is dynamite, right? It causes an explosion. What they found with nitroglycerin in terms of medication is that if you had angina is constriction of your blood vessels, especially around the heart, right? And that would cause angina pain. And so what they found 50, 60 years ago, at least, that if they give you nitroglycerin under your tongue, or they gave it to you in some kind of a form, it would rapidly get rid of your angina. But what they didn't realize, and only discovered in the early 1980s, is that our body has that substance of nitroglycerin-like. It's called nitric oxide. It's actually a substance in our blood vessels that open up our blood vessels. The problem as we age, right, you have lower levels of nitric oxide. And Navital is a huge booster of nitric oxide. So is B12, by the way. These things open up your blood vessels. They actually get, and, if you don't have enough levels of nitric oxide, think of the effects of,
well, think of the effect of the circulation into the feet and the ankles. I mean, the blood can get down there. It can't get back. Yeah, just think of all the benefits of having better blood flow. Mm-hmm. And in order to have better blood flow, you need nitric oxide.
Well, think of men, right? Like, we got to get personal a little bit. But if you talk about, like, men as they age and they have They have erectile dysfunction. I mean, there's a medication out there. It's probably, made Pfizer and these other companies multi-gazillions of dollars because men are trying to stay young, and they don't realize that what's causing that dysfunction is lack of nitric oxide. There's not enough blood vessel opening for men. Right?
Which is why a lot of people like pine bark extract as well, right?
Oh,
a lot of men
absolutely.
get a lot of good results when it comes to the
But that's an aging thing too when you think of it, right?
Nitric oxide levels decrease as we age, which affects our blood flow. So we like pine bark because it boosts nitric oxide. So not only does it help protect your brain from free radical damage and neuroinflammation, it also protects against free radical damage, which, as we mentioned last week, a great visual aid when it comes to free radical damage is take a bite of an apple and leave it on the counter. The very same oxygen that we're breathing also ages us quicker. Oxygen is a double-edged sword. It allows us to live, and it also ages us. And because we are bombarded by free radical damage today, you need to be taking antioxidants. It's a must. You need to be taking antioxidants. It's very difficult to get enough of in your diet to fight off all the free radicals we come into contact with. And let me tell you this, the combination of a Navitol and a probiotic, so a pine bark and a probiotics helps increases your glutathione level, which one of the jobs of glutathione is to recycle your antioxidants. The more glutathione you have, the more you recycle your antioxidants, the more you can fight off free radical damage. Combine that with an external free radical or a fighter powerful antioxidant like Navitol. It's just like a win-win.
Yeah.
Which are why those are the two supplements that we pretty much recommend for everybody, right, when it comes to all aspects of health. In order to fight off the accelerants of aging, which is getting rid of inflammation, keeping that low, again, food, big part of that, and free radical damage, DHA squashes inflammation. Probiotics, phenomenal for fighting inflammation, as well as pine bark extract. So the same three things that we recommend for your brain are the same three things we recommend to slow down those accelerants of aging. That's funny how that works. Now, we also talked about one of the aspects of aging that is significant last week is the decrease of enzymes that occur as we age. We just get less ability to break down food, less ability to pull nutrients from the food, which is why a big part of anti-aging is enzyme therapy, which is why we're a big fan of digestive enzymes when it comes to not only for good digestive health, but even people that digest well, as you age, really should be taking an enzyme with a bigger meal, help you break it down, help you get more nutrients, helps put less stress on your digestive enzyme system. Yeah. Enzymes are a big part of anti-aging. So now we're talking 4 nutrients: DHA, probiotics, a Navitol pine bark, and enzymes. And that plays a big aspect of our anti-aging protocol. Now, that's a general thing that most people would benefit from when it comes to anti-aging, because let's talk about skin health in a second. And the benefits of DHA for skin, the benefits of pine bark or Navitol for skin, and the benefits of probiotics for skin.
Yeah.
Are there any better supplements out there when it comes to skin health? Absolutely not. If you want younger looking skin, you need a healthy gut. There's a direct connection called the gut-skin axis. Yeah. Your skin is your largest organ. It depends on the health of your gut and the health of the blood vessels that go into the skin. The more blood you get to your skin, the healthier it is. And guess what boosts blood flow to the skin? Pine bark extract. Yeah. We always tell people when they're taking Navitol, not only is it great for energy, it's great for a lot of things, but you're also taking skincare. Internally, you're helping the health of your skin big time, which is why we also use pine bark in one of our skin creams because of the effect that it has on the skin. I mean, it's tremendous. Yeah. Pine bark is awesome for skin health. So the very same things that help your brain, the very same thing that helps fight off the accelerants of aging, also help your physical appearance in terms of your skin. DHA is essential for skin health, which is why a lot of people that are having a lot of skin issues, when they take a lot of DHA, their skin gets better. When they fix their gut, their skin gets better. When they take Navitol or pine bark extract, their skin gets better. So they're going to get anti-aging across the board.
Yeah.
Enzymes also. There are a lot of adults that get acne because of a lack of enzymes. There's other reasons for acne, which is estrogen. A lot of women have acne, adult acne, because of estrogen issues. However, enzymes also play a role in that. So for skin health as well, enzymes, you get those nutrients. You're able to get more magnesium, more B12, all those things. Awesome for nutrient aspects. Now, okay, so we covered the nutrient aspect. We kind of talked about the eating aspect. Let's talk about the other aspect, which is important as well, which is exercise. Specifically, we like 3 things when it comes to exercise, because one of the things that happens as you age, and we did talk about this, but one of the things from a fitness capacity, aside from you losing muscle mass, actually has to do with your VO2 max. Your lung capacity decreases as you age big time. So a healthy VO2 max, or keeping your lung capacity high, is a big part of anti-aging. So there are 3 things that we recommend when it comes to anti-aging, when it comes to exercise. The best routine: strength training, weightlifting. You have to be lifting weights. I don't care. There are so many studies that show people in their 80s getting tremendous benefit from it, diabetics getting tremendous benefit, 60s, 70s, 50s. I mean, you need to be lifting weights. It's never too late to start.
No.
It is
and
never.
You don't have to, people think, they're scared of that. But it doesn't have to be heavy weights. That's not the point.
No, you want to build muscle, right? You want to build muscle. You want to lift weights, no question. The more muscle mass you put on, the more insulin sensitive you are, and the more you have to lose as you age, no question. Think of every time you're lifting weights as a deposit into the bank account of better, longer, more mobile living. That's one, for sure. If you are not doing any type of strength training, we highly recommend that you start some kind of strength training. That's one. The second thing is high-intensity interval training. That is, when it comes to your metabolic health, vital. Not only does high-intensity interval training improve your VO2 max, it's one of the best ways to improve your VO2 max. It helps your lung capacity. Yeah. It helps make you more sensitive to insulin. It helps rejuvenate your mitochondria, which are your cell battery packs. And it helps boost, when you're sleeping, growth hormone. It also helps you sleep better at nighttime. So you got to be lifting weights. You have to incorporate some form of high-intensity interval training. And it doesn't have to be a whole lot.
You don't need long time.
No.
It's not long duration. It's actually very short.
Yeah, anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes of that's it. It doesn't take a long time. And high-interval training could be anything. It could be pedaling on a stationary bike hard for 10 to 30 seconds and resting for 30 seconds and repeating that for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Start. That's high-intensity interval training. It's a period of hard work and a period of rest. A period of hard work and rest. Whereas like cardio is just steady state. They call it steady state, meaning it's the same amount of exertion. You go for a long run. It's the same amount. High intensity is you pedal hard, you run hard, you lift weights hard, you do kettlebell hard for 30 seconds, 15 seconds,
and then
10.
Rest.
Then you rest. That's
rinse and repeat.
And that's I cannot stress to you enough how important that is for proper anti-aging. And then the third aspect of aging, exercise that we strongly recommend, and research has shown this over and over again, is walking. Good old-fashioned walking.
I'm a walker.
Yeah, it's so good for you, right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think maybe 4 episodes ago, we talked about the study showing that if you're sitting for 30 minutes and you get up or walk for 90 seconds, it cuts your glucose levels in half. Yeah. Walking is very good for you. Walking is good for stress. It's good for, after a big meal, you go for a walk, it helps lower your blood sugar levels after. It's great. It's good for you.
Yeah.
So if you lift weights, if you incorporate some form of high-intensity interval training and you walk and you do the things that we mentioned earlier, which is take a probiotic, get enough DHA, get enough enzymes, take a Navitol like a pine bark, that is our anti-aging protocol, and it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good for energy. It's so good for so many things. Now, as we come to the end of this, a lot of people ask, like, you have a routine that you do. We're big believers in routines, and you have a routine that you do in the morning when it comes to supplements and stuff like that. I mean, we have a few minutes. Do you want to just share what you do?
Yeah, and you know, and I'm going to add one thing that everything that I do, my wife does. Okay, so for women, listen up, because I'll touch hormones for a minute here, as we talk about anti-aging. We did, you know, if you go back to our last episode, we really talked a lot about your testosterone going down and these kind of things, and estrogen and progesterone need to be balanced. So I'll just talk about what I do. One, I get up in the morning, I have, and this is important for aging too, we didn't even talk about it, but I really believe in H2O, vitamin W, right? I drink water, I drink a couple of liters of water every day, and the first one I take is when I get up in the morning. I do not have a coffee till I have my water, just because all I can think of is coffee, but I have a water first, because you get dehydrated, and I don't want to go into that. But here's what I do. I have water, and with my coffee and a little bit of peanut butter, I have my probiotic, okay? Take probiotic every day. I take Navitol every day. I take DHA every day. Now, let me just give you a little tip that I like, and you might implement this but I talk to my patients about this all the time. I like drinking olive oil. And so I take a little, is it a little bit more than it's a tablespoon of olive oil. I drink it. I like it. I got no problem, tasting it. Coconut oil, fish oil, our high DHA oil. I love it. Either in a capsule. I take the capsule and the liquid, just because I want to get good levels of high DHA. So I take that. I take vitamin D, because that's essential. Vitamin D is an essential vitamin.
I mean, that's one of the things
because it helps elevate your testosterone. Ladies and men, you need that. Vitamin D is essential for, you think of, your every cell in your body, your immune system, blah, blah, blah. It needs vitamin D, and that's why you feel better. Vitamin D elevates your melatonin levels. You're going to sleep better with vitamin D. So, anyway, it's essential. You and I talk about it. Vitamin D. And I take, usually in the winter, 8,000 international units. I'll probably go down to 4,000 international units in the summer. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'll even stop for a few weeks as the weather's good. I'm outside. I get a lot of sun, and therefore I'm getting vitamin D. But for people, seniors, you need vitamin D. It's a growth hormone. Elevate your growth hormone. It's good for your testosterone. So that's what I do on a daily basis. I take some magnesium. I like that salt. It's very good for your brain. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood vessels. It's a very important part. That's what I do every day.
Now, just as we end...
And Rosie takes... Let me just finish this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Rosie takes... Here's the add-on for her. Progesterone cream. She takes a natural bioidentical progesterone. It is so good, ladies, for your hair, skin, and nails. It's an anti-aging because women think of your bones. You don't get enough progesterone. And like you were saying, when you don't even sleep properly, your progesterone is being robbed because of your cortisol levels. And so, ladies, I tell you, add progesterone. I love that. My wife loves it, and my patients love it. Okay, there you go.
Okay, now, and that's awesome. That's a lot of information. That's a lot of people ask. They're always curious to see what you're taking every day, and obviously because you're active, and as I mentioned, your brain works well. You're active. You got good energy. So a lot of people are just curious to see what you take every day. And I guess let's just end this off. We're past time here, but one important. So we talk about kind of off air. We talk about these, a toolbox for anti-aging, right? You carry around this toolbox, and we mention a lot of tools for anti-aging: Navitol, probiotics, and all weightlifting and high intensity. Those are all the tools that you carry around in your anti-aging toolbox. And there's one more that I think we should just mention very quickly, and that is fasting. Fasting is, as they do more and more research on the benefits of fasting, aside from weight loss and insulin and all those things, fasting elevates your level of growth hormone while you sleep. And if you want to incorporate a little bit of fasting into your routine, either intermittent fasting, on a daily basis or a few times a week, or if you want to do a 24-hour fast, once a week or twice
Very
a week,
beneficial.
So awesome for you when it comes to anti-aging, right? A lot of anti-aging research is going in the direction of looking at these fasting mimicking diets that basically mimic fasting, because we know it has such an anti-aging effect. It also increases autophagy, which basically is, the recycling of your cells. It's so good for you, right?
Yeah. One other thing I take in a day, and I forgot to say this because you were reminding me of anti-aging, bone broth.
Yeah, that's
our bone broth protein. When you think of that and the collagen in there, think of what your body's made up, and we lose that matrix in our anyway.
Well, it's funny because even when I was in the clinic the other day, one of our staff members came up to us and was like, "Man, because we've had the bone broth for a little while now, and she's been on it since the start, and she's like, I'll tell you, her hairdresser is telling her that her hair is growing faster than ever." Yeah. And she was all excited because her hair's just, growing fast and faster than ever.
And the only thing she incorporated,
her nails are stronger, and it's awesome for you. All right. So that was a lot of information in this episode. So we want to thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@martinclinic.com. So again, thank you for listening and have a great day.